Kevin Kwan. I'm with Neighborhood Loans. I've been in the mortgage banking industry for over 15 years, various aspects of that. I was an underwriter for 7 years and now I've been on sales for 7 as well. Also had my real estate license for a little bit too.
Okay.
So well versed with pretty much the start to finish process on both sides. So. Yep.
I love it.
And Brooke and I came to an event and heard that you have a HELOC that's available for investors to pull out equity of their property. Tell us a little bit about that, what that process looks like. Are you checking credit score, all of those things?
So when I was introduced to the product, like I was just saying, I thought it was too good to be true. And we call it the AI or artificial intelligence HELOC because it is really quick. It's all computer based. And you can get options within seconds of filling out the application. And on the original application, you don't even put in your social security number. So it's just like your name, date of birth, type of property, stated income. The income is verified later. Once you just do that piece, if there's any available options, it spits it out within seconds. Okay. And then I just send an email right to the client, and then they have all the options. They pick the rate, they pick the term, they pick the amount that they want out, the closing costs. It's really hands-on. I can follow up, make sure things are going smoothly. But to fully complete the application, it takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. You upload your tax transcripts for income verification or your bank statements, either one. The bank statements will verify your deposits per month. So it truly is almost like a stated income type. There's no pay stubs, there's no W-2s required, there's no verifications of employment to the employer. You do all that, 20 to 30 minutes, you will have an estimate, you'll have an e-notary scheduled. Nice. Once you sign that, there's a 3-day rescission period, and then it funds within 5 to 7 days of completing that application. So I've had people do the application on Monday and had their funds on Friday.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
then that works for all types of properties, primary, second home, and investment.
Okay.
The single-family home?
Yep,
Duplex?
single family, yep, all of them.
Okay.
Condos as well. So.
And do you lend to LLCs, personally guaranteed by the individuals, or just the
It's
individual?
your own name. We have run across now some people have trusts. Yes. Those are eligible too. Okay. They do review the trust document. But yeah, it's really pretty much like a normal first mortgage transaction and verification. Yeah, businesses or LLCs you could put it into the LLC after you close. So,
okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
So this is so good for investors because it helps them to get some money that they can use as their rehab costs or whatever it needs to be, and then be able to sell the property. So that makes it very, very awesome because that's sometimes the challenge, right?
That is the challenge because when they're getting a traditional renovation loan, sometimes those rehab fees are not included, or you just need some more money because sometimes you go over budget. And is this product up to 80% of current value? Or
That's a great question because I have not seen an exact number because that's how intuitive it is. It does an AVM based on the property address and just gives you options.
It's an automated value.
Yep. So it's just like, here you go. This is what you can go up to for max loan amount. This is the lowest you can go. And I have not seen it max out at a certain specific number. It's just tailored to that specific scenario. So most home equity lines do go up to 90%. So I would think that that's kind of probably their max. But yeah, it doesn't really say max LTV, 90%, 95. It's just whatever it's allowing you to get. And it leaves it all up to the client. Like, does this make sense for me? Does this not? Here's what I can do. Okay.
is there a minimum credit score to qualify? Is it 680?
I haven't seen that either.
Okay.
Because they'll say, I'll see details, like if there's no options, it'll give the reasons, and it'll just say credit score, or it'll say loan to value, but it doesn't give an exact number. Okay. So, but again, most home equity lines are, 680 is usually kind of the lowest, and then like the combined loan to value anywhere from 90 to 95. But yeah, it doesn't even tell you, just here's your options, here you go. So,
Very easy. And the first one you did, or the first of this AI HELOC, was with an investor, right?
Yeah, it was an investment property, and the client was a realtor. And she took it out on one of her investment properties, and yeah, she did the application. It was like 20, 30 minutes. I sat on the phone with her just to hear the other side of it, right? To get more familiar with it, and went through the steps. And yeah, she did it on Monday. Funds on Friday.
Nice.
So,
That's so good. That's
yeah.
so good. And then, what was the other situation that you had shared with us about?
Oh, yeah. So I have a client who has a home here in Arizona. It's a free and clear property. She's on the loan with or helping her daughter buy a home in Oregon. It's also another primary residence. But the mom didn't have, the available funds, so she just did a home equity line on her house here. So we did the quick approval. It was done right away. We could use that in the pre-qualification for their loan, for the daughter's loan up in Oregon. She's going to get the funds. She's just going to send them up to title for closing, and that's just another way of, getting deals done, or, when you need cash immediately. So,
Yeah.
And it's really good too for a pre-qualification process, because most bank HELOCs can take just about as long as the traditional loan right now. So knowing that you can get this done in approval, that you can actually get a document and disclosure to send to the listing agent for a pre-qualification,
So good.
that helped get their offer accepted too.
Right.
Because there was no hiccups with that. I have the approval, here it is, done. So
And I believe you said you're able to help in almost every state. There was a
Yes.
couple states that's not working with.
4 states not eligible: Hawaii, West Virginia, Kentucky, and New York. And neighborhood loans, I think we're only not licensed in 1 state now. So, but I'd have an avenue to get, if that was the one state that you needed. No, I'm sure we can figure out a way. Yeah.
There's
So,
some answers. Yeah.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
That's
So.
cool. How many of these have you done? I mean, is this how soon? How new?
So the product was out for a little while, and then, I started kind of getting, because before I start selling a product, I really want to know it 100% before, I wasn't just like advertising it right away, because if there's questions, I don't know it. So I've done, I think, 6 now. It's a relatively new, I think this spring is when we were really starting to roll them out and do them more consistently. And we include it in all our marketing blasts now, because like I discussed at the class, like we have to come up with more, creative ways to get deals together now. It's harder to qualify people. Like, they have equity, but they might not have available cash as much because their payments are higher, and so it's just another good tool to have. So.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
And there was somebody that had a question that you were in the. Did that part get
I
answered?
did. He asked the maximum number of units, but if we're talking about residential, that'd be 4.
Yeah, 2 to
Because
20
5 plus is
Yep.
commercial, so 4 a maximum.
I have not seen one done yet, but I've also not seen no. I mean, yeah, and that's, I know FHA and conventional changed their guidelines too, where you can now move in and do minimum downs payments on those too. So.
I'm trying to see let me see if I see their question. I had a couple people interested because it is so hard to find a line of credit on investment properties.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I would just figure that they would probably, on investment, there's already a hit to the rate, right? Because it's a non-primary residence. So if you add in like a multi-unit, and I've seen the rates anywhere from 8 up to 11. So, depending on if it's a primary, you're going to get your best.
And is there an appraisal? Is it a drive-by?
No, it's automated value. It's literally like in that, as soon as I hit click for see offers, the AVM is done during that process.
Now we're gonna have to add you to our dream team. Brooke always tells these sellers, "Well, you've called the right person. We're the dream team." We're like, we and Kwame.
Yeah.
Kwame, sorry, keep going.
That was my nickname, or still is, Kwame, and everyone says that still.
Okay,
But I like your Kwam down.
Yeah, calm down.
Yes.
Got this.
Yeah.
Yes. That's your new heading on your
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so excited. And so if you have an investor that wants to reach out to you or go to
Yeah.
your site,
So,
The easiest way, so this QR code will take you to my normal online application, which is the full one. I mean, they can fill that out if they want, or I can just get the stuff, basic info. It's literally like name, date of birth, address, property type, stated income, done. So
should they send you an email if they want
Yeah.
to set up a call with
sure.
you?
Yep. Or
Okay.
just call me.
I'll just call you.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and And we're still working on different ways too to market it. We're trying to get like a landing page directly to that application that I
We're
do.
bringing it to you super
So,
new.
yep.
I mean, these people know they're brand new.
Yep.
Hot off the press.
Yep. But it's way easier for me just to take it over the phone than to go through and fill out, because you then with that application, that's the main one. That's where you're putting in your assets and your income and like pay stubs, and it's just way more deep. You have to outline any other properties you own. And with investors, they're not, I mean, they probably own a lot of properties. Well, you don't have to fill out every single one that you have with this application. So, yep.
Do you want, is that, I guess we have that on camera. Okay.